YouTube? This is my top 5 albums from 2016. This year has been an overwhelmingly great year for music. If I was to sit here and talk about all the projects that I enjoyed this year, we would be sitting here all day and night. So I have narrowed it down to 10. And what I mean by 10 is that my other 5 favorite albums are on my blog post. So if you go to my blog, you'll find 5 albums that I love this year. But in this video, I'm talking about my top 5 albums. So altogether, it makes 10. But this video in particular is about my top 5 albums from this year altogether. So let's go ahead and get into it. So number 5 is Imperial by Denzel Curry. When I tell you, I don't even know. I think I would argue that this was probably my favorite hip hop project from this year. Like, every single instrumental went so hard. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I was just overwhelmed by the intensity of this album. Like, I don't even know. Like, he definitely came with the heat with this one, because his last couple of projects I wasn't too big of a fan of. I think the last project that I actually enjoyed was Nostalgia 64. I think that's what it's called. This is one of his songs from his album. It's called Gook. So the next album, number 4, is Anti by Rihanna. When I first heard this album, I was just like floored, because I feel like this is the best project she's ever put out. Like, a body of work, I feel like this is Rihanna's best. For example, the fact that she covered Tame Impala's Same Mistakes is pretty impressive, because I'm not gonna lie, at first when I heard that she was covering the song, because Tame Impala is one of my favorite bands, I was a little skeptical. I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a chance. And I listened and I was like, she did that. Like, she really did that. I really enjoyed her cover. Honestly, I kind of like it more than Tame Impala's. And people will say, well, they sound exactly the same. But I don't know. I feel like it's only about her voice in the track. It's just, I don't know, I just kind of prefer her version over theirs. Sue me, whatever, fight me, I don't care. I definitely commend Rihanna for Anti. I feel like it doesn't get enough credit. I feel like people kind of swept it under the rug, especially because it came a little bit before Beyonce's Lemonade, and so unfortunately people's attention shifted a little bit. So but I definitely think Rihanna put her best foot forward with Anti, and it's definitely one of my favorites from this year. 3 is Lemonade by Beyonce. I mean, do I really have to explain why I love this album? Like, I feel like if I just said Beyonce, that's reason enough. But, you know, I will go into why I love Lemonade. I really enjoyed this album. I feel like this is probably one of her most mature works. The overall theme of the album was a cycle, intergenerational cycles, you know, her mom having to deal with infidelity, and whether she's speaking from an autobiographical point of view, I do not know. but you know, the speaker of the album, I should say, you know, her mother had to go through infidelity, and she's talking about how her herself has been going through infidelity. So regardless if this is Beyonce talking for herself or not, we will never know. But, you know, I do think that the theme still stands. From her proclaiming her Black womanhood proudly, to her, you know, not being afraid to be emotional and to be angry and to go through these different emotions and stages, to come out a better person. Like it definitely revealed how much Beyonce has grown, not only as a musical artist but as a person. But yes, I love Lemonade by Beyonce. That's number 3. Number 2 is A Seat at the Table by Solange. She did so well with this album. Lemonade is kind of like the introduction, like the preview, and A Seat at the Table is the broken down analysis. That's what I feel like that's how I feel when it comes to Lemonade and A Seat at the Table. I feel like they're both necessary as, you know, both necessary pieces of art and both necessary messages regarding Black heritage and Black pride and things of that nature. This whole album, A Seat at the Table, is very Black. Very, 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 very Black. Ain't no way that you could try to commercialize or try to package this up as something that can be consumed by everyone, because it's not. So my number 1 favorite album from this year is So what you just heard is from the album For All We Know by Ne-Yo. Even with my favorite albums, there's always one song that I don't like, or there's always one song that I'm just like meh about. But with this album, I loved every single one of the songs. Like everything you wish for an album was in this album. Every song was well written. You know, if you listen to each song, like each of them had their own story, dealing with love and, you know, loss and grief and hurt. And, you know, even though like each one had their own story, it was still cohesive. You know, it still went together real well. Each song has their own distinct sound. Like, I'm so unimpressed when it comes to music most of the time because I listen to a lot of music, and so I don't know, like I get used to certain sounds, and so I'm just like, man, it's alright, I've already heard this before. But with Ne-Yo, like her music is so unique, and it's so, you know, it's so well crafted. Like one song that I love in particular is called Trophy, and I like it because it reminds me a lot of Prince. Like I feel like if Prince heard it, he would vibe with it. But I'll play it, hold on. That's Trophy, and it kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know, it reminds me of Prince because it sounds so 80s, it's so retro. Like I could hear him hopping on this kind of song. So anywho, but For All We Know was my favorite. My dad is in agreement. For All We Know is definitely my favorite album from this year, and I would definitely consider it one of my favorite albums of all time. So shout out to Ne-Yo. I definitely am excited to hear more music from her, and I'm so thrilled to see where she's gonna go with this. But anyways, thank you for watching. Definitely subscribe, like, and comment. What were some of your favorite albums from this year? You can comment below. But I will see you in the next video. Bye.